Okay, let's go around. You're each gonna say who you are, where you're from, or what your role is.
Hello, I'm Natalie Green, U.S. Youth Ambassador from Utah.
Hello, I'm Fernando, and I'm the Junior Youth Ambassador for Washington, D.C.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and I'm a U.S. Youth Ambassador from Utah.
And I'm Bobby Jones, and I am a coordinator for UCS.
Welcome to Inside Inclusion.
Why do you spread inclusion in your life? Think about your school, work, or even community.
Well, personally myself, I choose to spread inclusion in my life because I like people feeling involved. I like that sense of community. So now from like the transfer from high school to college of course is bigger. So, trying to spread inclusion in my college is like maybe one of the things that like I definitely was looking forward to this year, and so far I've done good.
I spread inclusion in my life because I have a twin sister who has cerebral palsy, and so I just always want to spread inclusion because I see how she reacts and interacts with other people, and I want to do the same for other people. I want to make sure everyone always feels included, just like she feels included when she's with me or like other parts of our family.
I also have a CP and intellectual disability and epilepsy, so I could say people like me who have basically IDD, CP, epilepsy too, something like that.
Yeah, and you deserve to be included right now. Think of all the amazing things that you've done because you've been included. And Bobby, you having the opportunity being included as a part of the team for Special Olympics. Right? You've been able to do so much for us. So inclusion is important.
For sure.
So, spreading inclusion and taking inclusive action takes courage. What is one piece of advice you would give to someone who is afraid to speak up?
Just speak up. You kind of have to speak up, and you'll never know how it turns out until you do it. I was always really afraid to speak up, just like talking in front of the class, or if I had to give a presentation about anything. And eventually there were different things where I was like, yeah, I eventually have to kind of get over that. And I think when you do it enough, then it's definitely something that you get used to and get more comfortable with, just like anything else you would do in your life.
There's some things some things that I need to speak up on, if that's with friends and family. Standing up to my friends and for my friends and family, I meant to say, or for things that matter to me most.
I always find that doing public speaking also helps. It makes you stronger in a way of speaking out about different things, since you're kind of talking about, your different activities that you do. But I think it also helps because then when certain things come along, I think it gives you more confidence in a way of, talking to people and kind of just getting out there.
I agree with every single one of you guys. I myself have never had a problem with speaking up or public speaking. I did a lot of speech competitions in high school and middle school. And then I always, the best way that I could think to encourage someone to speak up is to have a one-on-one on them. Make sure you let them know that, what they might say might impact somebody else's life in a good way. And they might encourage other people to speak up for what they believe in.
So this kind of leads into the next question, but how will you all be a champion of change this year?
I think for me is to spread more inclusion and give more info about what you can do to probably more schools in my area or even in my community, and tell them more about people with intellectual disabilities like me, or why inclusion matters to people with disabilities and basically everyone else too.
I think more or less just kind of telling people more about Spread the Word, and just kind of, just kind of keeping the public informed, and, having maybe different events that are going on. They always have like a banner that everybody signs. Maybe have everybody sign a banner to pledge to spread the word and all that. And I've done that in the past, but I think, especially this time, with everything going on, I think it's definitely something that everybody can use.
Speaking of events and activities, that is the way that I choose to, be a champion of change. I usually sign up for like different activities around school, or like with different organizations where, people not just necessarily are part of the unified generation, but, are in other organizations, and, for that way they can also spread the word, like letting them know what's going on, this is happening, and making sure that, we don't only include ourselves as like, the unified generation, but that we include other people that we don't know.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with all of you guys. I think that what you all had to say was really good. I think I'll be a champion of change this year by just like spreading the word of Special Olympics, and just like telling people more about what I've done, because once I kind of tell people what I've done, then they kind of are more interested in it, and they ask more questions. And even when I'm just wearing like Special Olympics t-shirts, or like, what's that from? I think it can be a lot of little things, but I think the little things can also be important.
Jordan, I love what you said about all of the little things, because I think a lot of times we remember that Spread the Word is like this amazing day, but sometimes it goes beyond just that one day, right? Like, so all of you have mentioned using your voices every day to teach others and share stories, and that's what's going to spread inclusion, not just one day, but every little thing that we do, and then we celebrate on Spread the Word Day, right? So I think so many people already connect with all of your stories, and like you said, just sharing more experiences and examples, so people understand what inclusion means, who the unified generation is, what Spread the Word is. And Bobby, you have so much knowledge that you can share of how it's really changed throughout the years, right?
Yeah. Who are the champions of change in your life?
I think champions of change in my life honestly have to be two of my bosses at work. They just always make everyone feel included, and they never leave anyone out. They always make sure like everyone feels good about how they're being treated at work. They're always including everyone I work in the outdoor industry, and they're always making sure everyone's feeling included. None of the girls are feeling like pushed out, since it's more of like a male dominated thing. So I would definitely say that they're a champion of change. They definitely make me want to do the same for like my coworkers. Natalie, do you have anything to share?
Well, it's a hard question, because I know a lot of friends and family who are part of this, who are changing the world. But one I would like to say is one of my family friends. Her name is Christy. She goes out her way to do charity. She includes those who have like disabilities like me, and she is just a really awesome person, even though she is struggling right now, but she is still the same Christy that I know and love.
One champion of change, or somebody that I can say is a champion of change for me, probably is my roommate. She has this thing that she says that, if you say hi, that's including somebody. So like speaking up, being that first person is definitely what I got from her. A lot of people sometimes say, oh, like you don't always have to, encourage people or be the first one to speak. But if you're not the one doing it, then who's gonna do it? So she always tells me that, and that's something that I take to heart.
I guess the champion of change for me would be, I don't know, there's a couple people that I think about. I think about Andrea, because I worked with her back in '97, so I think she's definitely, and then I think of just kind of all of UCS, just because, you know, change is good for everybody. So, you know, that's, I think, kind of where things lie, because I feel like it's a good place to be, and, you know, you kind of support it and you kind of feel like you're included and stuff like that.
I think that, like, one person that for the youth ambassadors, and I don't know if Jordan and Natalie agree, somebody that is a champion of change for like us is Laura. For example, Laura is like somebody that always encourages us to move, you know, to do these unified talks, to, you know, always make a change, and herself as well. Like, she always tries to elude happiness to everybody. So I guess like that's like one of the biggest like things that a champion of change could have, is like making everybody feel welcomed. So yeah. I guess like if you guys probably agree with me, Laura is definitely a champion of change.
I definitely do, Fernando. She's a positive person. We absolutely love her. She includes us in everything that we get to do, and we just love her for being the person that she is.
I'm sure she's going to be so happy when she hears this, because sometimes our champions of change need that boost to keep going, right? All right, one last question, and it's not even a question. We're just going to finish this sentence. We've all kind of alluded to our answers. So, finish this phrase. One thing I will do to spread inclusion is. So for me, one thing I will do to spread inclusion is continue to share your stories on my social media with my friends and with my family, so I can teach new people about all the amazing things the next generation is doing to help the world become inclusive.
One thing I will do to spread inclusion is say hi to more people, or make conversations with more people, because I'm very quiet.
One thing I'll do is to share more of my story and teach everyone that we can be more inclusive if we work together.
I think for me, for inclusion would be just kind of being out there, meeting more people, even with the youth ambassadors, kind of get to know them a little bit, and just kind of, you know, whether it's in the office or on the field, just kind of be extra nice and just kind of talk to them and say hi and include them into different things.
Personally, I think that one thing that I will keep doing to spread inclusion is just being myself. Like, you know, not trying to become anybody else, just trying to be original, you know, be like, I'm a happy person. So if I can elude happiness, I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from that positivity. So I guess like just being myself and finding new ways I can be myself would be like one way I would spread inclusion.
I love it. That's a wrap. Who will say take?
Or done. I don't even know what we do anymore. We did it.